Today I picked up the VILTROX 85mm f1.4 portrait lens for Sony. This is part of VILTROX Portrait Prime lineup for Sony cameras. For the price you pay, this lens sets the bar very high, especially when you look at the results you get. The image quality coming out of this lens is honestly really impressive. Inside the box, you get the lens itself. You also get a protective sleeve to keep the lens safe and scuff-free while traveling. The 85mm focal length is one of the most popular choices for portraits. And with that f1.4 aperture, you get those beautiful blurry bokeh backgrounds. On the front, you do have the lens hood. There's a switch for either autofocus or manual. The lens does have a declicker switch if you want to smooth out the aperture ring. There's also a programmable button on the lens for customization. Firmware updates are done via the USB-C port on the back of the lens, but I wanted to compare it to my other go-to portrait lens. This is a Tamron 35-150 f2-2.8. This lens is big, heavy, and my personal workhorse. Sometimes when I'm out, I want something smaller, lighter, and less intimidating. The Tamron 35-150 weighs around 1,300 grams. After a few hours of shooting with it, it really starts to get to my wrists. The VILTROX is about a third of the size and weight. So now these two lenses are my go-to wedding combo. This lens is smaller compared to my other one, but it's bigger when it comes to an 85mm compared to the other three. So my main go-to portrait lens is the Sony a7RV. It's a very solid camera with a high resolution sensor. The image quality is excellent. Paired with a VILTROX 85mm f1.4, it makes a very great combo. That f1.4 aperture really gives you a beautiful blurry background. I've done several sessions with this setup and the results have always been good. Whether you're shooting outside or inside, in low light, that wide aperture is very fast and very helpful. You can keep the ISO low while keeping the aperture fully open at f1.4. That means you can get enough light without needing a flash. That's why prime lenses like this are so popular for weddings and sports. This lens complements my camera perfectly. The high megapixel camera plus the sharp prime lens gives me a shallow depth of field, and that creates those gorgeous, creamy, blurry backgrounds. Overall, it's a combination that delivers very strong results. So after using this lens for a few weeks, it's pretty solid. I shot everything at f1.4, Sony will lock on, and it works like magic.